Welcome to the You Wanna Bite kitchen. Trader Joe's is hosting an Instagram contest to see who can make the best ice cream sandwich. The rules of the contest is that you could only use 5 products and they all had to be from Trader Joe's. So the products that I got to make an ice cream sandwich are a chocolate babka. I got their JoJo's cookies and cream ice cream. For the outside, I got some chocolate chips, and I also got some hazelnuts that I'm going to toast. So hopefully this turns out good. We'll find out together by the end of this. So let's go ahead and get started. The first step of making the ice cream sandwich is going to be to get the outside all set up. So I actually cut it in half, as you can see here, and I froze 1/2 of it. So I'm going to start by slicing this into hopefully 4 slices, and then using the top of a mason jar to cut out circles for the outside. Just to give you a better look at what the babka looks like, in case none of you have tried it before, it's this really delicious swirly chocolatey bread. Now that I've got my 4 slices of the babka laid out here, unfortunately the idea I had to use this ring mold is not gonna work because it's too big for the loaf. I was able to go and find this smaller jar lid that's actually for a candle that is the perfect size for this. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with my original idea to make these circles. I could have just continued on with making them kind of like rectangle shapes or leaving them in the shape of the loaf, but the best part about this is that now I have leftovers to eat. I hope I don't have chocolate on my face now that I ate the scraps. At first, I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to get 4 out, so the first 2 I cut are really thin, and the second 2 I cut are definitely a lot fatter. It looks really beautiful, like the swirls of the babka. I think it's going to make for a really pretty looking ice cream sandwich, and also is going to taste delicious. So now it's time to move on to slicing the ice cream. I'm pretty much just going to slice right through the pint of ice cream because it's going to come out in perfect little circle shapes. This is harder than I thought it was going to be. Alright, there we go. Perfect. Now that I've got my slice of ice cream and my half of babka sandwich, I'm going to go ahead and put that together and trim off the excess to just make sure it's a perfect circle because I'm crazy. I'm really quickly going to go ahead and put it on some saran wrap and wrap that up so it can go in the freezer and hopefully mold and stick together and become a cohesive sandwich. Now that I've got it all wrapped up, I'm going to leave all the sandwiches I made in the freezer for a little bit, and then we will come back to dip them in chocolate. I just looked down at the counter and forgot about these guys, so it's time to toast some hazelnuts. Open these up. They already smell pretty good, but I'm gonna pour that much? I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna put them on medium-low heat, let's say, for about 10 minutes until they get a little bit extra brown and really fragrant and toasty. So it's been about 10 minutes now since the hazelnuts have been toasting. They're quite a bit more brown now and they're really fragrant. So I'm going to pour them into this little towel and cover them up to rest for an extra couple of minutes and then rub them around in there to get the skins off. I've left the hazelnuts in this towel for a couple of minutes and I'm gonna now kind of roll my hands around there, try and rough them up a little bit to get the skins off. So this didn't get as much of the skins off as I had hoped. Oops. Now I'm going through and kind of just rolling them between my fingers individually to try and get some of the skins off. It's not that big of a deal. I don't need to get them completely naked, let's say. There's still quite a bit on there, but I think it's gonna be okay, and I'm going to just move on and use the food processor. I don't want these getting to be too small or like dust. Basically, I still want them to have like a nice amount of crunch. Now that the hazelnuts have gotten pretty chopped up in here, I'm going to strain them out and try and get out all the little dusty pieces so I can see what I'm actually working with. So it looks like some pieces are still pretty big, but I've also got some smaller pieces. I'm going to go ahead and pick through the pieces that didn't get broken down at all and run those through the food processor one more time. Okay, after about 4 rounds of food processing and sifting, I am going to accept the consistency that I have here. Otherwise, I could be doing this all day. We have finally made it to the last step in our ice cream sandwich making process, which is to melt the chocolate. I've obviously got my Trader Joe's chocolate, and I'm gonna melt that up with a little bit of butter just to make it a little bit thinner and silkier, which will hopefully make it easy to dip in. And I'm just gonna do that right in the microwave. I've watched Claire attempt to, or actually temper chocolate so many times on Bon Appetit that you would think that by now I would know how to do it, but I don't. So I'm just gonna keep melting this in intervals in the microwave. I've got beautifully silky melted chocolate here that is ready to have ice cream sandwiches dipped in it. It's just begging. And I've also got my bowl of the chopped toasted hazelnuts. So I've got a dipping station already here, and so I'm really just hoping for the best, and let's give it a shot. I'm just going to do one at a time. I've pulled one of my sandwiches out of the freezer that I am going to unwrap here and dip it in the chocolate. I'm going to use the spatula to run the chocolate up the sides a little bit. I am only going to be dipping half of the sandwich in. I think it looks really pretty that way. It's not that pretty. I had visions of this being dipped silky smooth, but there's some chunks of Babka crumbs in here now. Luckily, the hazelnut pieces will cover up a little bit of the lumpy chocolate. Sprinkle some on the top and throw some on the bottom. And then I'm gonna stick it on the tray here. This is what it's looking like. I don't want it to melt though, so I'm gonna move quickly and get it back in the freezer, but I'm pretty happy with how it looks. That is our finished product. I'll post the pictures that I ended up taking here, and follow me on Instagram at YouWantABite to see more food content. I have a special guest joining me to say goodbye because he won't stop crying on the floor. That is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me put together these ice cream sandwiches. Let me know what kind of ice cream sandwich you would put together with just 5 Trader Joe's ingredients. Hit me up with a subscribe. That's it. Bye.